calls to order.
Okay.
I'm still going to do the pledge if that's okay.
Yes.
I'm pledging. Sorry. All right. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. All right, we're going to move this pretty quick. I know we've all had conversations, but if there's any questions,
don't have anybody taking minutes.
I do.
She's got
Oh,
it.
you're done? Oh, sorry.
No, you're
Thank
good.
you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so first of the day is the EP1, Resolution Awarding Professional Services Contract. We've talked about this as for digital and social media advertising. Does anybody have any questions? Actually, let me start off. I'll look for a motion. Roy, do I have a second? Marie, any questions?
Was everyone interviewed, or was this just selected based on visuals? How did you get there?
Combination of all RFP, then a review committee to go over all the written responses, and then we narrowed it down to two, I think, and interviewed two.
Were Helen and
Three.
Gertrude
Three, yes.
interviewed?
Yes.
Is that a woman-owned business?
As a matter of fact, it is. Neither one of them is named Helen or Gertrude, but those are two prominent women in the social media marketing field that they chose to name the company after.
Who was on the selection committee to interview these people?
I think purchasing director has all their information at her
Yeah.
fingertips.
David Owens, Lisa Gray, Matthew
Ritz.
Ritz, and Dave. Ritz, okay.
Yep.
And then David also prepared a sheet just explaining.
All right, so,
And I mean, you can look here, you can see how they rated them, and you can see the prices.
And so the recommended company would be Paper Kite. They scored the highest based on the different scoring system that we put together here.
And coincidentally, as is common in a lot of fields right now, they have some employees who work remotely, one of whom, for this company, actually lives in Oswego.
perfect.
And my understanding also is that they came highly recommended. We're the ones that also serve kind of our sister county, Jefferson County, is my understanding as well. Similar.
Yes.
experience. So,
Yeah.
got some experience in the area here.
Outstanding review from the experience in the Jefferson County.
And there, it says Hans expensive. Okay, well,
And as a quick reminder
He
on the
spoke
pricing,
to
that money is
cheap.
money that's directly provided for this type of it. This is coming from additional budget money, is that correct?
No.
I understand this is
Nope.
state money used.
It's in our budget, yes.
Any other questions?
In fact, it will likely save us money because now we have like a professional firm who can acquire advertising opportunities for us at a rate that we wouldn't get individually by ourselves because they do business with a lot of people.
photos, but we won't get sued.
Let's hope. Fish photos. All right. Funny story about that, we'll just go into later. Hilarious. All right, if no other questions, look for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thanks everyone. Let's jump to EP2, resolution authorizing County of Oswego for local law number 3, local law authorizing provision of mass transportation and establishing of mass transportation facilities. This is my understanding is this was a little bit of a mix-up, that a law we had not yet had on the books. The state had told us we need to do it, and that as long as we did it now, there'd be no issue with the fact that we haven't had it historically. Dave, is that the correct way to say?
Yeah, actually, I think so our contract with OCO goes back many, many years. This state law took effect in between then and now. And because we hadn't updated the contract with OCO, the state never said, well, before you do that, you need to have this document. And then Rich discovered, in order for us to have this document, we had to initiate this local law.
Perfect. All right, well, let me look for a motion on that. Raylan, second. Ed, thank you. Any further discussion?
So, that, just to be clear, this is merely putting a local law on the books
Yeah.
for the, so we can have mass transportation in the county? So right now,
Authorizing
we're illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the current regulations and requirements go,
Mhm.
we had not updated them in the past. but the understanding is that there's nothing punitive here, there's no concern. of
Yeah,
any-
no, I think it's the State Department of Transportation sees it as a somewhat trivial matter. They've been continuing to fund us all these years, and up to and including this year, so,
Just crossing all our Ts and dotting our Is right now.
yeah.
Excellent. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, everyone. EP3, resolution authorized, this is the CBG grant that we've talked about. We do have to amend this, so I'm gonna look for a motion to amend it to the first or second whereas. We need to change it from $2 million applications to $1 million. That is the cap allowable. So this is just giving us authorization to apply for this monies through the Community Development Block Grant.
I'll move the amendment.
All right, Roy, thank you. Have a second? Second. Ed, all right, and as amended, do I need a motion?
You need a motion just on the amendment first.
Amendment, which we got. So all in favor of the amendment, sorry, as amended, or the amendment.
I agree to the amendment.
Any opposed? Sorry, everyone. All right, then,
We need a
As
motion on
amended.
the entire thing, because I don't think we did one.
don't I need a motion before we amend it?
I don't know.
All right. Sorry, everyone.
I'll move,
Love these rules.
I'll
I
move
apologize.
both.
All right, so I've got Roy for a motion from the beginning. I've got Ed for a second. All right, we got to vote to amend it. Roy,
I'll second the
second.
amendment.
Vote on the amendment. All in favor, we said
Aye.
aye. Thank you. Now, as amended, is there any discussion?
Question. To provide funding to local projects, okay, so this is not determined who will get this funding. Will this be equally divided among all migrant farms in Oswego County?
Question, but
Okay, that's a really good question. There's actually two parts to this. Both of them are related to the Community Development Block Grant Program. Half of it is related to existing programs that we've had over the years and applies to the revenue that we've generated from doing those projects. So sometimes we make loans and we get paid back, and then we have program income. So part of this amends our work plan to allow us to use those funds for new things like helping seniors with housing repair and other, like well and septic is something that's common.
So it's diverging from the migrant.
Oh, so it's both community development programs. The migrant one is also community development funding. And what happened was originally, this is how fast the money has been going. Originally, they said, we have lots of money, but it's gonna go fast, so get your applications in now. Between the time that we had that conversation, we put this together, put it into the system. The money was spent down to a point where they said, we're gonna limit it now to $1 million, because the $2 million was at their advice. So hopefully, by the time we get this in, there's still $1 million left for us to use for these projects. To answer your question more directly, we may have a bigger need than we have funds for. So we'll have to go through a prioritization process. Who's ready, who can be ready the fastest, because the state really wants this spent within 12 months. What's the real need? Do you have a 4-bedroom unit only because that's always what was there and you want a new 4-bedroom, but you've only used 1 or 2? We'll have to get granular with the farmers and figure out where the greatest need is, who's the closest to being ready. And if it comes down to we'd like to serve everybody, then we may go to a point where we say, how would you feel about making a contribution instead of 100%? Would you be willing to pay 20% so that we can help one more farmer?
so if I
They're
could,
applying.
I was gonna say,
They're
is,
applying.
why don't we,
They're
if
gonna
everyone's
apply
comfortable
for
with
the
this, there needs to
How are
be,
they made aware of the application?
and Marie, I was gonna say, like, for
we-
EDP meeting,
Yeah.
let's do this, because again, right now, we're authorizing an application.
Right.
The way it's gonna be administered, we can still discuss, and I think that needs to be discussed. Maybe, can we make that an agenda item at the next EDP meeting, and we
You're
can
the chairman.
actually,
Yep.
all right, well, then, what I'd like to do, as long as everyone's comfortable with this, is, I want to apply. I mean, we're gonna run out of time to
It's
apply. I
just,
wanna
the try- water's muddy right now.
And that's a fair point.
Too muddy.
I think we should discuss the administration side of it at EDP. We'll have, I'm assuming Donna can come up and sit, and she can answer these questions fully when we have time to discuss it. I don't think it, at least, and again, I apologize for rushing, but I don't think it will change the fact that we want to apply for this. How it's going to be dispersed is I think, more of the bigger
Critical,
question.
yeah.
So we
I
will
think a
bring that
letter
up.
should go out now to every single farm,
We did. So we took
every single one.
all these farms and these specific living quarters are overseen by the Department of Health. So we used their list and we approached everyone on their list to see who was interested. So we have a good database and we touched everybody who's eligible to be touched by this.
I would just like to say I do have some reservations about the whole program in general from a philosophical, political standpoint, but I'm not going to stand in the way, so I will vote for it.
And I would encourage, when we do have an opportunity to discuss the actual administration side, but I think that would be a good time to bring up concerns, because we can still deal with that. We can still deal with that. So, all right, as long as everyone's comfortable in authorizing the application, I will commit to you that we will discuss this again in committee. All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, everyone. Last one for the day is EP4. This is an annual resolution we do where we have adding in folks to our agriculture boundary, right?
Yep.
District boundaries, ag district boundaries. We have the list here. These were the folks who were forwarded to us. Motion, thank you, Roy. Second. All right, thank you, Noel. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Wait, one last thing. We don't have a resolution, but we do need to appoint some members to our Tourism Advisory Council. This does not go to the floor. This is just our recommendation to the chairman to then appoint. So I did reach out to a number of these folks and got authorization they do want to serve. I would like to make, I don't need to make a motion, but I would look for support on Mark Greco, Dan Young, Sarah Broadwell, Mercedes Neese, Robert Green. Those are the names that have come forward that have offered to serve. There are a couple folks who had served in the past that are no longer interested in doing it, at least at this time. There are a couple other vacancies, so if there are folks that you know of, have them reach out. Would be the tourism office, Dave. That is looking at somebody. No, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna make the motion, I guess. Make the motion.
I'll
to
make
name
the motion to,
Roy.
let's do it by motion, by
I'll
resolution.
second it.
Second from Mel. Thank you. Okay, is there any discussion on that group of names? These folks have all indicated they're interested, and again, if there's someone else that you know, please send it to Dave.
So just for the newer members as well, this isn't a resolution that goes to the floor. It's a recommendation from the committee to the chairman of the legislature, who then makes the appointments.
Who was the second person? Young?
Sorry, Mark Greco, Dan Young, he's from Tailwater.
Dan Young, okay.
Sarah Broadwell from the Chamber of Commerce. Mercedes Neese, she's in tourism, also at the museum here in Oswego. Robert Green, hopefully you all know about Green, from the Green Team. And then that is, like I said, that is it. Okay. So all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it again.
I
Sorry
move
for
to
the
adjourn.
rush. Move to adjourn. We got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye.